Hello everyone, this is Batman, and I welcome you to a quick guide for Inae raid. I say this is a quick guide because new raid content can sometimes be overwhelming. So the point of this video is to be as simple as possible, such that if you only watch this once, you can mostly understand what to do in one try. I'll explain what I can, but with an emphasis to beginners and first-time raiders, so I will skip over any bosses or information that you don't need to know. Before I get started, I want to give a quick shout out to Sikrena and DFOArchive. They made guides before Inae was even released here, and their guides are the ones that I learned from before I started raiding. I'm going to link their guides in the description as a reference. I do want to mention, all footage shown here is recorded on my own, and any advice and strategies that I suggest come from my personal experience from my own raids. Really quick, this is my Explorer Club and character for people to see this for the Masters of Inae event, and screenshots are also in the description. Okay, without further ado, let's begin the quick guide to Inae that shows you only what you need to know so that your teammates don't get mad at you. Let's start with the basics. Even though you can enter rooms with members of the other party, the buffer that is in your party is the only one that can buff you. When you start, give your buffer a few seconds to finish buffing before you move to your rooms. You can have 1 or up to 4 players enter a boss room, but this raid has an intrude mechanic that allows members to join a boss fight from outside the boss room. This mechanic allows members to join teams from outside the room to not only help out with damage, but also extend damage phases, or even save party members from failed gimmicks. A maximum of 5 players can be in one room through this mechanic. By the way, this is what it looks like when you can extend the damage phase, and this is what it looks like when a party failed a pattern and you can save them. You also cannot intrude while a boss is doing a main attack pattern. At this point, it is very important we understand where everyone should go and why. So let's take a quick look at the layout of the whole raid. Let's take a zoom in into this map here. When the raid starts, 3 bosses will be open. They are Omma, Scar, and Sponger. One boss will be enhanced and have extra HP, and the boss that is enhanced changes every single week. Soon after the raid starts, the Piper will spawn somewhere randomly on the map. He also continuously respawns until the end of Phase 1. After a few minutes, or after you defeat the 3 main bosses, the next 2 major bosses appear. They are Mahnarval and Lundior. After you defeat those 2 bosses, then you move on to Phase 2 to fight Juris. Let's talk about strategy. Whenever a boss is unoccupied, you lose time to complete the raid. Basically, all available boss rooms must be occupied at all times. So, how do you split up the teams? One of the most common and safe strategies goes like this. Red team enters the enhanced boss, while yellow splits up. One DPS occupies one boss, another battles and defeats the Piper, and the last DPS teams up with the buffer to occupy the last boss. Red team should use Third Awakening after one main attack pattern and defeat the enhanced boss. Then move to where the single yellow party member is. They will return to get out of the boss while red enters. Since you cannot press tab to intrude if you use return, yellow 1 will go to Statmos, which is a free intrude every few minutes, and enter with the rest of the yellow party. In the meantime, yellow 2 will intrude after finishing Piper. By the way, defeating any boss, including the Piper, will grant you 1 intrude use. Yellow 2, or whoever is on Piper duty, needs to constantly return and fight the Piper whenever he respawns. Once the next 2 bosses are done, red team goes to fight Mahnarval, and the smaller yellow team fights Lundior. Since Mahnarval is considered the harder boss, yellow 2 will constantly intrude and help red team defeat Mahnarval. And when he is done, the 2 last strongest DPS left will constantly intrude using tab and Statmos to help yellow team defeat Lundior. Once phase 1 is done, it's just a boss rush to defeat Juris. This is just one strategy, and it is called 4-2-1-1 because of the opening formation. There is another common strategy called 4-3-1, where red and yellow team blow up the first bosses, and one person resumes Piper duty afterwards, but you need very strong parties to do this one. Regardless of what happens, follow what your raid lead says, and remember, the enhanced boss changes every single week, so pay attention to which boss you enter first. These strategies are just a few examples. Now let's go over all of the boss mechanics. Let's start with the first boss, which is the easiest one in my opinion. Most of Scar's normal patterns are pretty easy, I'm not going to go over them. Scar will summon a bunch of gold furnaces. He will target a player and charge, and after a small delay, he will jump to the player. Get him to destroy enough furnaces, and you will get a damage phase. For his other attack pattern, there will be a dark circle around him. He will choose a random player to follow around, and you have to drag him close to the gold furnaces, which will turn purple and start floating. Auto attack the floating furnaces, and you will get a damage phase if you hit enough. Now let us go over Sponger. During this regular attack, you will see gold circles around certain players, and you can use it to get rid of transparent objects around the map. I'm going to be completely honest with you though, I don't really know what happens if you don't do this gimmick correctly, and I don't know why you should do it, but maybe someone in the comments can tell me. When he says, "What flavor are you?" he is going to trap one player into a cocoon. Your objective is to use basic attacks to hit the cocoon into the safe area. Keep in mind that one player will be targeted by an attack that goes across the room. That player needs to get out of the way, or else it will push the cocoon back to Sponger. If you do this pattern successfully 3 times, you get a damage phase. For the execution pattern, 2 players will be targeted by gold circles. You need to walk into the purple path to block Sponger from attacking the transparent looking things from earlier. After this, he will do a room-wide attack, and you need to get behind the pillars that you positioned, unlike what I did over here. Make sure you and your teammates are spread out so you don't go to the same lane. Alright, now let's go over Omma. Her regular attacks are really easy, I am not going to go over them. When she says Inspiration Dusk, she has 3 red strings on top of her. You need to grab a purple string and bring it to her. Make sure you also avoid the yellow strings since they stop you from moving. It will most likely cause you to fail this pattern. Do this 3 times and you get a damage phase. This pattern is called Gaze of Infection. One player will have an eye on top of their character, and another player will have a swamp around them. The player with the eye is the only one who can see purple eyes across the map. Touch them to reveal them to the rest of the players. The player with the swamp underneath them must run to the eyes to destroy them. Make sure if you have the swamp to wait just a little bit on each eye. It takes a split second to register. Also, other players will get hurt by the swamp, so stay away from the swamp guy. If the swamp guy gets hit, the swamp will stay in place for a few seconds, and another player will get a swamp instead, so don't get hit. I recommend that everyone goes in the clockwise direction to keep things organized. You finish all the eyes, you get a good damage phase. For the Eye of Decay mechanic, you grab a purple dagger and place it in the middle of the red eye. Do this a few times for a damage phase. Now, let's go over Lundior. For this basic pattern, she's going to summon 4 orbs. Basic attack and hit the orbs away so you can create a safe space. For this pattern, hit her a few times to make the damage circle smaller. Right after this, collect some of the butterflies. If there's any butterflies that are not collected, Lundior will collect them and it will make her damage circle bigger. Thankfully, we got an intrusion during this part, so we didn't get hit, but don't forget to collect those butterflies. Every now and then, colored butterflies other than purple will appear on the map. It can be gold, black, red, or even green. Collect the colored butterfly and it will protect you from certain attacks later. Just walk into the correct hole to make sure to activate it. For this pattern, Lundior will have a shield. Break the shield and one of the 4 circles will have a safe zone on it. Do this multiple times. For the Soul Erasure gimmick, Lundior is going to choose one player and you will see a casting bar at the bottom. Whoever is chosen must step into the black hole to decrease the pattern count. In this example, I mess up, and if you mess up, you are immobile and you can't participate in the pattern. You have to rely on your teammates to finish the gimmick for you. If your name is not chosen, Lundior will target you with a damage circle. Drag the circle away so you don't hit your teammates. For the 5 elements binding pattern, butterflies will appear in one corner of the room. You must guide the butterfly to the newest purple circle. Make sure you move slowly because if you are too far away, the butterfly will stop following you. After doing this 5 times, 5 more butterflies will appear, 1 in each corner of the map and 1 in the middle. Guide the butterflies to the circles to finish the pattern. Now, there is one more pattern very similar to this butterfly pattern where you have to drag purple orbs to some circles, but somehow I didn't find any footage of it. For this orb pattern, you have to move fast, so pay attention. After a few orbs, you have to go to the corners of the map to grab new orbs and place them in the circles. Now let's go over the hardest boss in the raid, Mahnarval. When you see the giant crack, avoid the giant circle, and avoid the subsequent cracks. Eventually, there will be a safe zone inside where the crack originally was. If you see the inevitable fear gimmick, there will either be 2 blue circles or 4 blue circles. If there are 2 blue circles, you have to have 2 party members in each circle. If there are 4 circles, 1 party member must be in each one. In this example, 1 party member was missing, so we couldn't complete this gimmick. When he is spinning, stay in the safe zone just outside his spinning area, but not too far, otherwise you'll take damage. He also has another variant of this spin attack where you just have to avoid being near him. Every now and then, Mahnarval will have a jump symbol on him when he performs certain attacks. You must jump on him, like you're Mario, to stun him, and prevent your team from taking damage. You'll be doing this a lot during his main patterns too. For his first main pattern, he will summon 4 cracks on the map. 3 of them will become holes, but 1 will still remain a crack. Stay underneath this crack and jump when Mahnarval charges at you. Next, Mahnarval will charge at a random player. Lead him to the crack for a small damage phase. Make sure you also stay in the crack when the casting bar fills up. After this, he will charge across the map 3 times. You must jump on him each time. 1 player will become trapped after each successful jump. Also, if you get hit too many times, Mahnarval will trap you anyway, and if no one can move by the end of 3 charges, this pattern fails. The last person not trapped must guide the purple circle to free the team, while also jumping on Mahnarval at the last moment to stun him. You have 2 tries to free all of your teammates. If you are not all free by the end, you fail this pattern. For his second main pattern, he will start spinning, and you have to jump on the hammers that are spread across the map and guide them to him. Do this a few times to finish the pattern. By the way, a teammate can jump on Mahnarval to stun him, and if you drop a hammer on him while he is stunned like this, the pattern count will drop by 2 instead of 1. So unfortunately, I don't have full footage of his third and final main pattern because he usually dies before he finishes, but this is what you need to do. Hammers will drop on the map, and you need to jump right after the purple waves appear. Make sure you visually see the purple waves before jumping, otherwise you'll mistime your jump. Also, take note of the casting bar. If it says absorption, you need to jump towards the hammer. If it says release, you have to jump away. Again, I don't have any more footage past this. Just keep in mind the absorption and the release mechanic, and also the timing of your jumps. I won't cover the Piper because if you're starting out, you're most likely not going to be put on Piper duty. This guide has enough information as it is, and I don't want to overwhelm you. But let's talk about Phase 2 now. All you have to do is beat Juris and his 2 phases. All 8 members will fight him at the same time, so I hope your computer can handle it. When you enter, you are assigned a color to your character, either green or purple. You are protected from attacks of the same color, so take that into account during his patterns. Sometimes your color can change to the other, so pay attention to that. Some of his attacks are neither green or purple. They are blue. Do not be fooled. If you get hit by a colored pattern and you are not the right color to block it, you will be put into this little cage thing and take damage. This is your sign that you did something wrong. This is one of his normal attacks. Simply move towards the color you are assigned. He will keep switching back and forth. If you see a casting bar and you're not sure what to do, it probably means you have to jump. He'll also do a room-wide AoE attack, you have to jump this too. If you're in doubt, if you see a casting bar, you see an AoE room attack, you're not sure how to dodge, just jump. Sometimes he'll do the same pattern from earlier, but this time you had to collect some crystal orbs from the other side's color and then return to your own. Juris will often choose a color and attack a circular area, followed by an AoE around the circle. I don't do this pattern correctly at all, but what you're supposed to do is, if the circle is not your color, wait right outside the circle, and after the first attack, enter the circle to dodge the red zone. And if the circle is your color, stay inside of it. Otherwise, you'll be put into that blue cage thing and you'll look like a noob. Yeah, I don't know why I stepped outside the circle. There's also a wall gimmick where you have to grab a circle and push the same colored wall to let your teammates out of the danger area. For some reason, this specific time it looks really weird, but the idea is the same. Alright, now let's go over his first main pattern. For Bond of Death, remember these 2 things. When you see the spines, remember 2 sets of numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. This will make sense later. For the first set of spines, you're going to follow where the spines are going and in the order they come in. 1, 2, 3, and then the other one is off screen right now. On the full circle, make sure you jump at the right time so you avoid getting hit. So you need to avoid and dodge some of the other patterns while you're waiting for the next set of spines to come. Also, don't forget to collect some of these crystals if it's the same color that you are holding. Alright, here come the spines. Sorry, by the way, for my footage looking stuttery. My laptop could not handle this. So remember, this was 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Let's see what it looks like in practice. And don't forget to jump at the end too. And when you land, you start in, go out, and then jump in again. I didn't do it quite correctly, but that's the idea. And then don't forget to collect more of those crystals if that's the same color you have. Now there is another main pattern where you need to match the stars on one side of the room to the other, but I don't have footage of it. Hopefully you finish Juris Phase 1 by the end of this main pattern. Your satyrs or your buffers have First Awakening, Third Awakening, you skip that part. If you and your party get hit way too many times, you have to do a rhythm game. The buttons you need are these 4 here, and if your name is in the casting bar, you need to press the buttons correctly. If the circle is completely green with no red inside, you can press the button whenever you want. If the circle is red, do not press the button at all. And if the circle is green and with a red inside, you have to wait until the blue circle inside passes the red, and then you get to press the button at the right timing. After you're done, you have a quick time event, make sure you press at the right time and you're all set. For phase 2 of Juris, most of his normal attacks are pretty simple, just dodge the red. Let's go into his main attack patterns. To signal the start of the main pattern, he's going to have this cool animation. What he does is he summons portals to 2 mini-bosses, one on each side of the room. Only one person can fight each mini-boss. Now, I will not be including the guides to these bosses. This guide is long enough. Hopefully, one of the veterans on your team will do these 2 bosses. Meanwhile, everyone else just needs to survive until those 2 mini-bosses are done. Here's what some of those patterns will look like. Make sure you jump when the casting bar fills up and go to where the sword lands for a safe zone. Also, sometimes a teammate will have another red circle targeted on them. Make sure that circle lands away from teammates. You'll also see red streaks across the screen. Make sure you avoid the area until the green ghost-looking thing passes by. Also, when the map tilts one way, make sure that the red circle lands on the higher part of the tilt so that it evens out the floor. You'll see more red streaks across the screen. Find the safe zones and dodge while waiting for your teammates to finish the mini-bosses. If your teammates finish correctly, you get a nice damage phase. Many raids end at this point, but just in case, we'll go over a few more patterns. Let's first go over the window pattern. You have to stay inside the pattern and look out for 2 things. When he says, "Face me head on," you have to turn around and look at Juris, otherwise you'll be taken out of the pattern. And then of course, jump when it says distortion. And then you have to face him one more time, and then go to the 3rd window and jump again. And when your window turns red, then you go down. Juris has a few more important patterns, but I unfortunately don't have footage of them. I'll try to describe them as best as I can. When he summons 8 circles across the room, similar to Mahnarval, only one party member can step in each circle. If there was a way I could recommend to coordinate it, I recommend players go off of their party number, 1 through 8, starting from the clockwise position at the top. There's also another pattern where 2 circles are summoned, and the casting bar says something like wait or balance or something like that. Both circles must have the same amount of players on them, just follow the circles around. Alright, now let's go over his final pattern. This takes a lot of coordination, so here's my recommendations. So there's going to be 1 number to the left, and 1 number to the right of the room. In this example, we're going to the left. We see the number 3 here. That means 3 people must go to the left and enter the additional room. There shouldn't be any more or any less than 3. It has to be the correct number, otherwise it won't work. So you enter and get inside the room. There are 6 total orbs. You must auto-attack the orbs to change their color so that you get the same color and the same number that was outside the room. For this example, you need 3 green orbs total. Keep in mind that the boss attacks in the room can also change the orb colors, so take that into account. Notice that as soon as there were 3 green orbs, the green spine on the left will have a target reticle on it. That's your sign to auto-attack it. Keep in mind though, if you do not have the right amount of people inside the room, in this case 3, you cannot auto-attack the spine no matter what you do. Once you auto-attack the spine, you'll be sent out of the room. You'll see the number 7 because there were 3 on the left. In this example, there were 4 people that were supposed to go to the right. We're waiting for them to finish their patterns. As soon as they finish their pattern, you will see the same numbers again. 3 on the left, 4 on the right. Same player should go to inside the orbs, and you auto-attack the little thing on the ceiling. Keep in mind, that orb will not show up unless exactly 3 people are on the left side. No more, no less. Same thing with the right side. Exactly 4 people have to be there. And then you get a nice damage phase after this, and hopefully you finish this boss from here. I don't know how exactly people will coordinate who will go left and right, but I can come up with one idea. Red party goes left and yellow party goes right. The people who actually go in is determined by party number. So let's say the number is 2. Players 1 and 2 go in. If it says 3, players 1 through 3 go in. and so on. Hopefully your group can figure it out. So that's the end of the raid. I sincerely thank you all for watching, and I hope this video helps to clarify a few things for some of you. I'm sorry I couldn't get all of the footage of every gimmick. It takes a while to record everything. Now, I'm not sure how likely new and returning players from my first video will actually attempt Inae yet, but you'll get there eventually. Inae raid is not required for progression, so don't feel bad if you miss out. It's to help you progress, but honestly, Naval raid is more important. That will be my next guide when I get time to finish it. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if this helped out, and I'll see you in the next one.